Hi everyone, and welcome to All Inspired. We will be working on some summer planning in today's video, just how I keep everything in order and on track. We will also do some summer school prep work as well as indoor and outdoor cleaning. We got a lot going on today and we have no time to waste. So I'm going to start by getting this living room straightened up. I'm going to pull my daughter's Chromebook out of her backpack because she's just not going to need to take that to school anymore, and we're actually going to utilize that for the summer school learning activities. All of this stuff I'm just going to put back in here and send this to her mom's for her over at their house. We have plenty of markers and all that kind of stuff, so I'm just going to hang that up there for them to take home. And I'm going to start by getting this living room nice and dusted, and then I'm going to give it a really good vacuum, and then we'll move straight on to the planning activities. Now that I got the living room all fresh and cleaned up, I'm going to head into the kitchen and get started on my summer planning. You see I have my phone propped up over by the whiteboard. A lot of this is in the calendar on my phone, but I like to copy it down onto this calendar so everyone can see it. It just makes it a lot easier when me and my husband are planning things, or if the kids are curious, they can just take a look right here and they see everything that we got going on. You'll notice in the next scene, I don't make you watch me write down every single thing, but in the next scene, you'll see that I have pink and green. The green is for us, for our family, and then the pink is for the events that we do during the day with the babysitting kids. And so I just looked at my calendar and I just tried to plan out exactly what our day would look like. So for instance, the babysitting boys get picked up at 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. So I knew on Wednesdays they would have to be a little bit shorter day, whatever we planned to do, and that we would have to do our schoolwork more towards the morning than in the afternoon. So I planned for Wednesdays to be a park day. And then, Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays, the kids get picked up a little bit later. So I planned different things on those days, like the pool or a field trip or something like that would take a little bit more time, and we would have that time available for us. So you can take a look right here and you can see we have everything planned out. We have movie Monday, the library and pool day, we have park day, and then we have field trip. And I just have listed different field trips that we're going to take this year. I just like this system. The kids can look up here, they can see what's going on. So it seems to be working out really well, and I think I'll continue to implement this through the rest of the summer. Now that I got that done, I'm going to move straight on to getting their chore charts cleaned up. They use this system a lot. I like these little clear folders. I just put their chores in there and they mark them off as they go. I'm going to get these all cleaned up and get their new chores put in here. Here is a look at their chore charts all cleaned up and ready to go. They have a few extra chores for the summer that they don't have during the school year. And I also went ahead and did a breakdown. My husband fixed that. I know that looks terrible. It was driving him crazy and he fixed it for me. But I did a breakdown. I just feel like that this really helps the kids. If I ask my kids what time they have lunch, they can tell me exactly what time they have lunch at school. And so I feel like having this really detailed system, we can stray from it. It doesn't have to be this way every single day, but for most days this is the guidelines that we'll follow, and it just keeps the kids on track. They like to know exactly what's going on and when it's going on, and then they have fewer questions for me, and I know exactly what's going on. So I feel like this is just a stress reliever. It makes everything so much easier just to have a list of what we're going to do. Like I said, we stray from it. We don't always follow it, at 12 on the dot we have lunch ready, but we do have a pretty good idea of how our day is going to go. Now that I got all of that done and the table cleaned off, I am setting up folders for the kids. I wanted to make it as easy as possible, where we could basically go in, grab their folder, bring it to the table, and they'll know exactly what to do. Everything that they're doing are reviews from last year. So it's spelling words that they had last year. It's IXLs on their Chromebooks that they did last year. It's all just a review. They're not learning anything new. So they should be able to do most of this stuff on their own. Now, the two littler kids, I have to help them out quite a bit, but it makes it a lot easier because the 3 older kids can do everything on their own. So I just give them a checklist, and I'm gluing it onto a piece of construction paper, and I'm going to stick it in one of those clear folders, and then I'm just going to put it in a 3-prong folder. I also have a few workbooks for the little kids. While I'm helping one of them, the other one can be practicing their letters or doing something on their own, so that I can give my attention to just the one kid at the same time, because it's hard. There's only one of me and there's 5 kids. So I try to set it up to where they can do most of it on their own, and then I can help them in between. This seems to work. We've actually used this week, and the kids got done in about 45 minutes. It didn't take them very long, and they didn't really even complain too much. They seemed to do pretty well with it. So I'm really happy with the system. I'm definitely going to be keeping this for the rest of the summer. Here's a quick overview of the folder. It just has some different worksheets in it, as well as the list of the things that they need to get done and their workbooks. You're also going to see in just a minute, I have another binder right there, and that's where I keep all the extra paperwork. Sometimes the teachers will send some home, and so I just have extras in here in age-appropriate groups. I also decided to put a menu up on the board. The kids seem to really like this, and it works out really well, so they'll know exactly what we're having each day. And then over on the right side, I have their spelling words for the big kids and the little kids, their writing assignment for Monday, as well as their weekly challenge. They have to learn my phone number by the end of the week, and they'll get a special treat. It's just something that I really want them to know. I want them to, just in case there's ever an issue and they need to know my phone number, I want them to make sure that they have it memorized. So that's going to be our first challenge. I just like to do fun little challenges of the week. It's just simple little things, but if you put the word challenge by it, then the kids think it's super neat. So I'm just going to move on to my laundry room area. This is where I keep all the kids' summer school activities. There's actually lots of art supplies and different things in here that we use a lot during the summer, and it's a hot mess. It probably hasn't been reorganized since last fall, so I cleaned every single thing off the shelf. I actually tried to organize it without taking everything down, and it just wasn't working. So I cleaned everything off, and I'm going to wipe down these shelves really, really well, and then I'm just going to start putting everything back. Unfortunately, I did lose some of that footage. My husband kept walking in here. It gets a little rocky towards the end. He hit my tripod a few times, and so I just kind of gave up on being able to film getting all of that stuff put back on there. But you will see me put some of it on there, and then you will see the shelf completely done, and honestly, it doesn't even stay like that. I go back through, I take a look at it, and I completely redo it, because we have things that I know the kids are going to want to get to. There's like a Play-Doh thing. There's a little projector where you can project an image onto a sheet of paper and then trace it. So those are things that if it's a rainy day, or we're having a heat wave, or we just can't be outside as much as we plan to be, these are the types of things that I want the kids to be able to reach and get to right away. See, you can see we were having a difficult day. That the camera did not want to stay on the tripod this day for us. For some reason, it just kept getting knocked over. So, like I said, it's just one of those things where you'll put it up there, you might rearrange it 4 or 5 different times until you finally get it to where it'll suit your needs. And at the end, when you see this clip, it's just, I think this is exactly where we needed it to be. We needed certain things down below and certain things up above. But real quick, I'm just going to show you a quick look of what's in all these bins. We have extra stuff. That's my daughter Kaylin's bin. This is stickers. And then we have tie-dye stuff. So this is all items that our kids really don't need to have that much, so I'm going to keep them up high. This is Play-Doh. You will see I end up moving this later. This is a crayon maker. It is something I don't want the kids to get into a lot, but those little containers, I'm going to make sidewalk chalk. It's really kind of neat. Maybe I'll show it on here. But then we have this, it's a 3D pin. It actually gets pretty hot, so I'm going to keep that up high because I don't want all of the kids to be able to get that anytime. We have tons of highlight magazines. This is in the event that one of the kids get done with their schoolwork early and the other kids are still working, they can work on a highlight magazine. We have games, flashcards, each one of the kids' folders that I just showed you that I made. We have some different items that I want to be able to reach really accessibly, some books, some paper books, as well as some hardback books of different places. We have pencils, colored pencils, crayons, different assortment of paper, as well as there's markers down there. So you will see I took a look, I stepped back, and I didn't like it, so I had to redo it. And I put some of like the glue and the scissors and the things that I just don't think the kids will need to touch that much, or that I might just not want them to get into, and I replaced it with some of the items that I want them to grab, like the projector. If they're bored or if they're finished with their schoolwork early, they can get the projector, they can sit at the table, they can draw. I stuck that Play-Doh station in there with some of the Play-Doh as well. So I just feel like that this setup just works absolutely perfect. We have items that the kids can get to that they need and they want, and then we have special items that we'll only use sometimes towards the top. I've headed outside and I'm going to move all this furniture back in its place, and I'm actually going to get all the tables wiped down as well as all of the furniture wiped down. I'm just doing like a basic surface clean for right now. I do want to bust out the power washer and do a more deep, thorough clean, but for now I just want to get it all nice and cleaned up. I figured it would be a perfect way to end the evening, to just sit out here and relax. It's actually a pretty nice day. I do want to let you guys know that from now on, not from now on, until mid-August, I'm only going to be posting one video a week. Right now, with having the kids out of school and just summer planning, it just seems to be too much to try to do 2 in 1 week. But as soon as the kids go back, we'll have a bunch of content with fall and the holidays coming up. So I will return to 2 videos a week. But for now, I will be posting every Sunday. You will notice that I did not post last Sunday, and it's because the beginning of June is actually pretty hard for me. On June 3rd, 18 years ago, my sister passed away in a car accident. I was actually 6 months pregnant with my daughter when this happened. My sister was my best friend, my role model. She was a very, very important person to me, and it's actually extremely hard for me to believe that it's been 18 years and that I've spent now most of my life without her, because I can still remember like her half smile and some of the wisdom she gave me, and I can still remember the exact way that she looked, and so it's sad that, you know, most of my life I've lived without her. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will see I did a sweet little post for her, and there's a picture of her and I on there. So if you're interested, go ahead and go in the description box. You can go check that out on Instagram.
I cheer you up, but never on your good days. I wasn't worth that much. You told me I was special, but not enough to make you stay. I guess you couldn't settle with somebody like me. My self-esteem has reached a new all-time low. At least you accomplished something, yeah. Before you, I was doing good on my own. If only I just hadn't been so wrong. How can I have been so stupid, so naive? Wish I did, but little did I know. Why have I been wasting all my energy? Wish I did, but little
Now that I've gotten everything wiped down, I am going to blow off the deck as well as the patio. We are going to get in the hot tub and relax on this evening, so I want to get all of this dirt and just debris off. This blower is one of my favorite things that we purchased. I think we got it from Lowe's or Home Depot. It is battery operated, and the battery actually does last for quite a while. So I highly recommend it if you don't have one. They are so nice.
I'm gonna shut when you say what's on your mind. I can see the pain in your eyes. 'Cause I'm left and I'm right. Don't know how to keep my calm. Baby, don't you tell your lies.
Here's everything nice and clean and ready for us to enjoy this evening. If you stick around to the very end, you'll get a few clips of how it looks at night.
It's time for the good vibes. Everything dies with the sunrise. Oh, you a lie. Oh, you a lie. Thinking about the way that you know me. No one ever cared like you care for me. You're such a bright star in the dark.